You're sitting on the couch with your best friend, laughing at the same inside joke you've shared 100 times. But then there's a pause. You look at them, and suddenly you see them differently. In that split second, the stability of your friendship vanishes. You realize you want more. This discovery brings a terrifying uncertainty, because acting on it could cost you the very person you rely on most. Psychologist Abraham Maslow mapped out our core human needs, placing love and belonging right near the foundation. We are biologically wired to seek secure connections. When the person who provides your platonic security becomes the target of your romantic desire, the stakes rise. You now face the ultimate dilemma. You have to choose: protect the safe, predictable friendship you already have, or risk breaking that bond for the chance to experience a romantic connection. This chart shows how people actually navigate this choice, based on community poll data asking different personality types whether they would stay friends or confess. The introverted demographic shows a strong preference for caution. Between 56 and 68% of these personalities choose to safeguard the friendship, preferring the certainty of their current dynamic. The data for extroverts tells a different story. Here, a much higher percentage chooses to brave the potential turbulence, vocalizing their feelings even if it risks the stability of the friendship. This divide is driven by our comfort with vulnerability. Academically, vulnerability is defined as emotional exposure, the act of stepping out from behind your ego and giving another person the power to reject your true self. Choosing to speak up puts your internal sense of self-worth on the line. You are trading the safety of your current image for the possibility of being truly known, forcing a battle between your ego and your desire for connection. Because humans naturally avoid rejection, we rarely jump in blind. We enter a phase of assessing the field, scanning our friends' behavior for any data that might suggest our feelings are reciprocated. We look for specific patterns: lingering eye contact, a sudden consistency in their behavior, or an increase in physical touch. We search for these moments to validate our risk before we take it. However, observation has a hard limit. Interpreting a look or a gesture is often an exercise in guesswork, and your own desires can easily tint what you see. Subjective signs cannot replace the clarity of a direct conversation. To shift the relationship, you have to use a tool called self-disclosure. This is the intentional act of revealing your internal world to someone else. It requires high self-efficacy, the confidence to initiate a difficult two-way dialogue. Success depends on the prerequisites. You need a stable, private setting and assertive communication. Using I statements allows you to express your feelings honestly without applying the pressure of an ultimatum. A written letter offers an alternative for those who find face-to-face confessions paralyzing. A personalized note can honor the shared history of your friendship while clearly stating your interest in a romantic shift. Regardless of the method, this step requires you to surrender control over the outcome. You have to accept the uncertainty, as that exposure is the only way to establish a deeper emotional bond. Once the confession is voiced, your narrative splits into two distinct realities. In the first, your feelings are reciprocated, and the relationship begins to transform. This timeline maps the transition. First is alignment, agreeing on what the relationship looks like. Next is mutual understanding, redefining boundaries. Then comes commitment, operating as a committed romantic unit. Finally, intimacy successfully merges the deep trust of friendship with the passion of romance. But we have to address the reality of rejection. If your friend doesn't feel the same way, emotional maturity requires accepting their no without harboring resentment or trying to argue them into changing. Recovery usually requires a timeline of distance. Professionals suggest creating physical and emotional space, sometimes for a year, to let the romantic version of the relationship fade so you can heal. Returning to the friendship is only possible once you've rebuilt your own self-worth independently. You must reconnect only when you are sure there are no romantic motives beneath the surface. The decision to confess provides a resolution to the ambiguity. Regardless of the outcome, this act of honesty offers a clear path forward, grounded in the reality of your connection, rather than safe silence.